I believe the volatility of MMA can be perfectly encapsulated in this last lock of the night play that we had with Javid Basharat being knocked out by Ricky Simone, I believe just over halfway through that first round. Now, Basharat looked great up until that point, stuffing the takedowns of Simone, landing his straight shots down the pipe, landing some good kicks, but ultimately a big shot from Simone changes the tide of the fight and puts Javid Basharat clean out, forcing us to rip up our lock of the night ticket. Now, this past weekend was not the greatest for lock of the night players as we went 1-3. Just atrocious performance there. The OKTAGON lock of the night play, split decision loss with Sam Creasy. Very surprised about that result. The KSW lock of the night, horrible game planning from our guy who was a little bit longer, faster, better distance striker, but decided to trade in the pocket a little bit more than he should have against a slugger and ended up paying for it. And then obviously Javid Basharat getting his head pounded in and knocked out completely by Ricky Simone. The LFA lock of the night comes through very easily for us with Elias Rodriguez getting that second round finish, but overall a horrendous start to the year in terms of the lock of the night plays for the first 2 months. That brings our record now to 6-7 for minus 21.47 units, a minus 33% ROI. There was a guy that commented last week in terms of tremendously in terms of the lock of the night plays. And maybe now you can get closer to saying tremendously. Minus 8 units is, that's easy to bounce back from, especially in a weekend. But minus 21.47 units, we got some work to do. Luckily there's still 10 months left in the year and we can still, turn a profit for our lock of the night plays as we've done pretty much every single year, but not the start to the year that I was hoping for here. So wearing it on my sleeve here, taking it on the chin. It is what it is. 6-7, horrible start. Horrible start. Our goal is 50 units for lock of the night plays, so still plenty of time to reach that, but we're not going to chase. We're going to stick with the confidence, stick with the reads, and just try to tighten the gears a little bit more and see if we can turn this profit, which I am more than confident that we can do. All right, we got 3 lock of the night candidates for this weekend's UFC Vegas 103 card. Let's get right into it. Again, I don't play every single one of them, but I believe they are worth at least a consideration of a lock of the night play, hence why they are candidates. The first one up, Ramazan Temirov coming in at minus 130, looking for his second UFC victory, going up against Charles Johnson, who's absolutely been streaking, riding a 4-fight winning streak. Now, this is a matchup between two strikers, but I believe Temirov's ability to cut angles and utilize speed and his blitzing attacks will get him those big shots that he needs to land on Johnson. Johnson might get ahead on numbers, but I believe Temirov's more impactful shots will look great optically for the judges. And should this fight hit the scorecards, I expect Temirov will get his hand raised because of the more eye-catching shots he ends up landing. But I'm not counting out him being able to land a knockout here, which is going to be my final prediction on this matchup, is Temirov by knockout. But even if this goes the distance, he has a damn good shot of getting his hand raised. And at minus 130, brilliant line as a possible lock of the night play. Second lock of the night play. Rare territory that I consider an underdog as a lock of the night play, but I feel pretty strongly about Haider Emil in the spot as he goes up against William Gomez, who's been streaking himself, but undefeated 10-0 Haider Emil, very high pace, high pressure type of fighter, looking to put his opponents through the spin cycle, grinding them against the cage, taking them to the ground, creating scrambles, getting to dominant positions, and just wearing them out. I think this is the perfect style to counter whatever Gomez is throwing. Now, Gomez might have some success if he can pinpoint some shots down the pipe, if Emil does not move his head off the center line, but Emil's durability has been ironclad throughout his career, and I think that will allow him to eat a few shots to get to his game, which is going to wear Gomez out, which could lead to a late finish for Emil, or even winning this fight on the scorecards. Just look for a high pace, high pressure, and a grinding, grappling approach from Emil to get his hand raised, and more than worthy of being considered a lock of the night play at plus 170. The third and final lock of the night candidate is going to be Mario Pinto, the chalkiest of them here at minus 350 as he goes up against Austin Lane, who continues to just hold on to his UFC roster spot. Last time around, we saw him defeat Robelis Despain, which we are now finding out is not that hard to do if you can get him to the ground in the first round. But he's going to struggle to do that here against Pinto, who has a spectacular takedown defense. And on the feet, I think he is the superior striker. I think he'll be able to counter Lane effectively here and eventually open up a knockout shot within the first 10 minutes of this fight. And I think he makes it look damn easy. Hence why I would consider him as a lock of the night play at minus 350. I've already locked it in on the Lock of the Night Patreon page. You're more than welcome to hop on the page and see who it is to either fade it, considering the run that I've been on as of late, or tail it if you like the reasoning that I've provided and the written breakdowns and all the other content that I've dropped on there. So check out the Lock of the Night Patreon page for that, or drop a comment below and let me know what your Lock of the Night play is for this UFC Vegas 103 card and whether you agree or not with any of my candidates here. All right. I'll be back tomorrow for the Chalk or Not segment for UFC Vegas 103. See you guys then. Peace.